Good evening, everyone. I'm Sai from Kirin Advisors. I welcome you all to the virtual roadshow of Munish Forge Limited. Today, we'll provide a brief overview of the company and its innovative business model. Munish Forge Limited, founded in 1986 and based in Ludhiana, manufactures precision forged and cast components like flanges, tank track chains, and auto defense parts, exporting globally while adhering to international quality standards. With recently expanded casting capacity and strong registrations across defense and infrastructure, Munish Forge is scaling up its one-stop forging and casting solutions. From the management side of the company, we have Mr. Dev Arjun Basin, the Executive Director and CEO. Good evening and welcome to the roadshow, sir.
Thank you,
Uh,
Sai.
Yeah, we also have Miss Mansi from NNM Securities, the market makers. Good evening, ma'am. So now we'll play a short corporate video of the company.
Welcome to Munish Forge Limited.
Customers' delight at every touch point is our lifeline in Munish.
A trusted name in engineering solutions. With over 8 decades of experience, we have become one of India's leading companies in forgings, castings, and advanced manufacturing. Our journey began in 1942 with a Bhasin and Company, a small machine shop supplying to defense forces. Through dedication, innovation, and customer focus, we grew steadily. Today, under the leadership of third generation Dev Arjun Bhasin, the company continues to adopt new technologies and expanding business horizons for the future. Our products include armored tank tracks and bomb shells for Indian defense, scaffolding systems for construction sector, flanges for oil and gas sector, railways, construction, automotive, earth moving and agriculture. We create stability and opportunities for expansion. Long-standing partnerships with leading companies reflects the trust we have earned through consistent quality and services. We are proud to be dependable partner to leading OEMs and defense organizations like Heavy Vehicle Factory Chennai, Ordnance Factory Dehu Road, Ammunition Factory Khadki, Ordnance Factory Medak, IHQ of MOD, Army, Master General of Sustenance Branch New Delhi, GCB, Tata Project Limited, Reliance Industries Limited, Sonalika Tractors, to name a few, and plethora of overseas associations from past many years. Munish provides complete tailor-made solutions in forgings, castings, fabrications, sheet metal components and assemblies. Our facilities cover 65,000 square meters, equipped with CNC tool room, well-stocked laboratory, CNC machining and robotic welding. Every stage of production, design, tool making, machining and finishing is carried out in-house to ensure precision and reliability. Our capabilities include forgings from 0.25 to 200 kilograms, hydraulic and mechanical presses from 10 to 300 tons. Green Sand Casting Division specializes in alloy steel and SG iron castings. Adequate heat treatment facilities and modern finishing options are available for customized solutions. Our products include armored tank tracks and bomb shells for Indian defense, scaffolding systems for construction sector, flanges for oil and gas sector, under chassis parts for automotive sector, undercarriage parts, loader and cutter kits for earth moving equipment, tooth and adapters for excavators. Munish holds certifications for IATF 16949, ISO 9001, ISO 14001 and EN 1090. We are recognized by respected industry bodies include CII, EEPC and FIO. Alongside technology, we continue to invest in sustainable practices to ensure responsible growth. Quality management systems are religiously followed. SOPs are well in place for each and every activity. Trainings are the way of life in Munish for upliftment of skills. SAP streamlined operations leading to increased operational efficiency and productivity. Our installed gross production capacities include 24,000 metric tons of forgings, 10,000 metric tons of castings, 5,000 metric tons of light fabrications, 3,000 metric tons of sheet metal products. With a team of more than 650 employees, in-house research and development, and a global presence, Munish Forge Limited remains committed to delivering reliable solutions and building long-term value for customers' delight. Through eco-friendly practices, energy-efficient technologies, and a deep commitment to reducing our environmental impact, we are taking meaningful steps towards a greener tomorrow and reaffirming our commitment to lowering carbon emissions. Thank you for joining us on this journey. At Munish, tradition and technology come together to create values that are built to perform and built to last.
Now, I would like to hand over the floor to Dev sir to tell us the journey about the company. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Sai, and thank you everyone for being here. So, a little bit about us and about our journey. So, our company began in 1986 from a one small shop, uh, and under Mr. Vasim's guidance, that small company grew into a world-class manufacturing enterprise with over 40 years of expertise in forgings, castings, fabrications, and machining. So, with over 150 million units sold worldwide across industries like scaffolding, automotive, defense, and oil and gas, we, and I joined the company in around 2017, and the idea, being a being from a business background and being from having done my undergrad in the United States and not knowing much about the engineering industry. The idea for me to start was that I start from the shop floor. So I did most of, I spent a couple of years on the shop floor, understanding each and every process, each and every product that we do. I started my journey from security, moving into quality, into logistics, into production, and then moving up the chain into purchase and management. So last year we did around 170 crores in turnover, and this year we're planning on doing more than that, and growing our business. We we have a lot of expertise in a lot of different areas. As we're a 40-year-old company, having spent a lot of our resources and our time into different aspects and different avenues of business. We grew different verticals. So we have the flange vertical, which is mainly used for oil and gas, also for water and sewage. We have a scaffolding business, uh, which is exported now into various countries like UK, all over Europe, to some also goes into the Middle East. Um, so we span over 17 different countries where we're supplying, and most of our businesses, it's broken into 70 and 30%, with 70% being exports and 30% being domestic. So in domestic, one of the major things has been for us is the defense. In 2014, under the Make in India initiative, we entered into defense, and we've been growing our business for a long time now in those industries. Last year, we did an approximation of 22 crores in turnover from defense alone. The year before that was just 2 crores. So defense contribution is growing, and we project that it'll grow much more in the future. And that is our major focus going forward. On the policy side, the Indian government itself has also given 6 lakh crores for defense procurements in 25-26, which is 9% higher than what it was in the previous year. So with this and the push into export that the Indian government has shown, it is it seems like a very it supports our decision into growing our defense business, and that is what we're going to be doing. We're going to be moving into defense and into railways. for our, with the railways, we were also looking into it with another 10,000 kilometers of lines to be, installed and already been approved across 28 different cities. So that is another vertical that we're just growing into. The idea behind growing into these kind of avenues was basically that these are high margin products. The defense being a high margin product for us, and we're expecting the same kind of margins from railways. It seems like the right push. That doesn't mean that we're not going to grow into other businesses as well. So we're looking to push into those as well. With you know with us being, we've been doing this business for around 40 years with different industries, but still we're a global presence now. We've been dealing with the same customers for around 20 different years or so. And we're a household name in some of these products. These are our legacy products. With the defense, with not defense, sorry, with scaffolding, we were one of the first companies to, start manufacturing that in India itself. So we have a lot of room to grow, and a lot of trust is placed on us by our customers. So one of the, that is going to be our push moving forward with this. And otherwise, just a little bit more about the company's history, which apologies I didn't get into, was that my grandfather was the one who started this business in 1942. So we started from defense itself with the Victoria Cross medals that were being made. And we after the independence happened, we changed those to the Ashoka line, and have been manufacturing those for a while. That is a separate business that is owned by my cousin brother. He's the one looking after that, and in that vertical that goes into hosiery and making uniforms for the defense itself. They're supplying 100% to defense. In 1986, my father made the decision to move into engineering, and has been we've been growing in this. So moving into defense was coming back to our roots. It was coming back to our legacy, and that was the decision behind it. And luckily, that decision is finally starting to pay off, with us being finally being rewarded for our efforts that were put into play all those years ago. Right. So that is a little bit about the company and a little bit about me. I would have liked to pass on the mic to Mr. Basin himself to tell you more about it, but unfortunately he's stuck somewhere and is unable to join us right now. But he should be joining us soon. Thank you.
Okay. Sir, can we go through the company presentation?
Yes, I've spoken a lot about the company itself, but if you want to skim through it, we can skim through it, and I'll touch up on the points that I didn't touch up on.
Sure, sir.
So we've gone through most of this. We're situated in Ludhiana, Punjab, and we have a premise of approximately 14 acres, where we have a lot of area to grow and a lot of space to ourselves. But I think we've touched about, after. I think, sir, we should move to the financials with the presentation, because I've touched upon most of this. Right. So as I mentioned, that we did around. Huh? Yeah. As I mentioned, we did around 140 crores, 170 crores of turnover last year, and this year we're planning on doing much more than that. We're trying to push that forward and doing a lot more in the coming years. And the trajectory seems in our favor, with the push to export coming from defense itself. Currently, India is pushing for its defense. Currently, they have a turnover target for this year of 25,000 crores just from defense exports. And by 2029, they're looking to double that and achieve a turnover of around 50,000 crores from defense exports. So, with us being a major key player in the defense industry, and having made products like the the tank tracks for different tanks for the different Russian tanks, and bombshells that are being utilized a lot. We seem like a key player in that growth factor for the Indian defense and the Indian exports. So a little bit about the products that we made. If we can move to that slide. So a little bit about the products that we made. We've done about we do tank chain tracks. That we make in defense, and there are four different Russian tanks, and India has out of the total population of tanks that India has, the Russian tanks, the Russian make tanks are the maximum amount. So, for example, there's a T-72 tank that India has a population of around 7,000 tanks. So we're catering to that. We're catering to T-90 tanks, which is the most frequently used. There's also the BMP tank that is used by, it's a smaller vehicle tank, which is mainly used for infantry movement. And then there is the Strela tank, which is used by the Air Force. It's an air-to-ground tank. So we were the ones to indigenize it. We were the tank chains for the Strela tank. We were the ones to create the import substitute, as this was being imported from Russia before we manufactured and created it. It was a long journey for us, but currently we're the only suppliers for this. And so even for the 105 bombshells that we created, we are the only suppliers from the private sector currently. And we've also developed recently the samples for the 155 bombshell, which is globally the most sought after bombshell. Uh, because of the Russian and Ukraine war, a lot of countries, including India, have exhausted their supplies, and there's a big demand for this particular product. So it seems like having developed the samples for it now seems like the best bet, because we're already a past supplier for other bombshells to the Indian government, and we're a trusted vendor from for the Indian government itself. So I think I've spoken a lot about it, and I can keep on talking about the company itself and the business. But I think it'll be better if you open up the panel for questions, and we can talk specifically about what you guys want to hear.
Sure, sir. So we'll start with the Q&A session. I request all the participants to post your questions in the comment box. So we have our first question from Miss Dia Patel. She's asking, MFL's portfolio covers defense, oil and gas, automotive, railways, and infrastructure. How do you balance across sectors?
So you know the oil and gas and the scaffolding business, there are legacy business that have been we've been doing that for over 40 years now. So it's pretty much on autopilot, where we just have to look at sales a bit, and manufacturing and everything. It's basically on autopilot. We've also implemented a lot of different systems in our company. Recently, we've changed our management style. With these new systems in place, it helps us manage the day-to-day activities pretty easily. And as for sales, we're more into, we've been dealing with these customers for, some of these customers for around 20-25 years. So we're in good relations with these. We're in good touch with our customers, which helps us with sales for these kind of products. So it doesn't really take up too much of our bandwidth. So we can focus more on the products and the verticals that we want to grow in, like the defense and railways.
Thank you for answering that, sir. Next question. So the next question is from Miss Inaya Shetty. She's asking, defense and railways are cited as future growth engines. What proportions of revenues do you expect from them in 2-3 years?
So with defense, last year we did around 22 crores worth of business. and the year before that was just 2 crores. So that that is a huge growth in demand that has come for these kind of products, and we project that it will continue to grow in the future, um, like it is. So with this, we're expecting a huge growth in our defense business, and likewise with railways. 1,000 kilometers worth of lines were implemented by May 2025, and another 1,000 kilometers of lines have been approved by the Indian Railways Institute. So spanning across another 28 cities, which seems like a multi-year project to us. So with this kind of push from the government itself, and as I touched upon earlier, with the target for 2029 for Indian defense exports being a whopping 50,000 crores. So we're projecting these numbers to keep on growing as they are.
Thank you for answering that, sir. Next question. So the next question is from Ms. Shruti Tavde. She's asking, how has the company evolved from a regional player to a multi-sector engineering firm?
See, as we started our business, or as my grandfather started the business in 1942, they were working with the Indian Defense. And one of the best things about working with the Indian Defense is their uh, their demand for quality. So that was instilled into my father when he started working, and likewise, it was instilled into me when I joined the company. So our quality has been our major factor into growth. And my father, being the visionary that he is, we started exporting from in 1990. So people in Europe, companies in Europe, they had never expected a small company from Ludhiana, a small town in the middle of Punjab, to be exporting good quality products for scaffolding and flanges. So that was our initial step towards growth, and from there we kept on moving into different verticals, trying to grow our knowledge bank, and reducing our reliance on just one vertical, as it could have been a risky factor for us if we were a 100% export company in the past, and we wanted to really diversify our field, so one industry couldn't be hampered. So to say, we didn't want to put all our eggs in the same basket. So to accomplish that, we had to keep on, doing some value engineering, coming up with new products, seeing where the market was going, or which upcoming products were better for us. And as our capacity grew, so did our hunger for more complicated products, and that was another push into the product mix that we chose for the defense when we did.
Thank you for answering that, sir. Next question. So the next question is from Ms. Krisha Damani. She's asking, how do you manage quality assurance across such diverse industries and geographies?
See, we take the best from all the industries, and and since we are lucky enough to have all our manufacturing done under the same roof in Ludhiana itself, um, we keep on adding. For example, if one vertical is asking for one specific check that the other verticals are not asking for, we'll implement that check into the vertical, into all the verticals, as a just as a base to our SOP. So with this, our quality is it keeps on improving and gets a lot better than uh, as we're progressing. And with this is how we basically manage our quality. So and then even with any other improvements that we find or we do on our end through R&D or through value engineering, we deploy it horizontally for all the verticals.
Thank you for answering that, sir. Next question. So the next question is from Ms. Arundhati Kapila. She's asking, MFL has a presence across 17 plus countries. What role does global exposure play in the company's positioning?
So global exposure is there for anyone that's exporting, but we try to mitigate that as much as we can For example, with the currency fluctuations, so we don't, it's not our business to get margins from the increase in dollar value or decrease in it. So we hedge 100% of our orders. So that negates a little bit of our exposure, and we're also, especially after COVID, we're also focusing a lot on our domestic growth, and that is why there's a huge push. That is one of the reasons why there's such a push in defense and railways. Because if globally there's another issue like where we can't export, as it was in COVID, we'll have a domestic business to depend upon. So I hope that answers the question.
Thank you for answering that, sir. Next question. So the next question is from Mr. Nishant Sharma. He's asking revenues grew from 16,012 lakh in FY23 to rupees 17,545 lakhs in FY25. What were the main growth drivers?
So there are two factors for this. The first being, and the major one being, that our defense business grew. So as I mentioned earlier, we did a turnover of 22 crores in defense last year versus 2 crores for the year before that. So that is one major reason for it. The other is, in our company, we're continuously doing a lot of value engineering to reduce our costs. So we installed a couple of induction furnaces and replaced the oil fire furnaces, which reduced my burning losses, and reduced the rejection percentage that we had to keep for our raw material. So that it helped us take a burden off of our bottom line. And likewise, we also installed a 2 megawatt solar project in our company last year, which again reduced our electricity consumption. And again, it took off a major chunk of burden from our bottom line. So those were the
Thank you for
major.
answering that, sir. Next. So the next question is from Mr. Lakshman Dubey. He's asking the company has 750 plus employees. How important is workforce training in precision engineering?
It's very important to us. We um, for a lot of these products, especially in the defense sector, uh, these kind of the kind of processes that are there, uh, they need skilled manpower and skilled staff members to be able to manage those. So we try to make sure that we're incorporating a lot of trainings into our program itself. And going forward, we also made a push onto that, where we don't just want to train our employees in what they need to do, but what they also, we also want to train them in the skill sets they'll need in the future when they're growing. So that is another push that we have done recently in our company. And even before that, we've been training our employees a lot. Uh, it has been a major factor for our growth, as without our employees, we're basically nothing. Our company is standing because of the hard work and the contributions they do to our company, and we try to give it back as much as we can.
Thank you for answering that, sir. Next question. So the next question is from Mr. Gokul. He's asking, what differentiates Munish Forge from other forging and casting companies in India?
See, I think one of the major differences between us and other companies is that the amount of verticals that we're into. Where one vertical might face an issue, the other is there to help us maintain balance. And that is one thing, because we're not just an automotive company that's only supplying to the automotive industry, or an agriculture company that is only supplying to the agricultural industry. Because if there's any fluctuations in those, then the company takes a huge hit. So, for example, with exports, the current geopolitical situation can create an issue for us with our exports. But the current geopolitical sorry, the current geopolitical situation is going to be a boom for our defense sector. So we kind of just balance each and everything out with our with the amount of verticals that we're into. Other than that, we're a very old company, having started in 1986, and we're still dealing with the same customers, for almost 40 years. And So we're a big name globally, which that kind of reliance that our customers have on us, that kind of comfort level that they have with us, um, that is very easy to replicate for other people.
Thank you for answering that, sir. The next question is from Mr. Vedant Shetty. He's asking debt to equity declined to 0.89x in FY25. How do you plan to maintain a prudent leverage profile?
Could you just elaborate on prudent leverage profile, please?
Division, you want me to take this up?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. So Vedant, basically that is the reason that we are coming up with this IPO. Basically, if you see that 0.89x is a very lucrative debt to equity ratio. If you look at it, any ratio below one is basically what we find lucrative, and that is the reason if we want to. So we are planning for a Munish is planning for a further enhancement into the capacities as well, into the capex as well. So rather than funding their operations from basically from the bank loans or term loans, they are going for public money basically for IPO, and that is the reason this will provide a good sustainable leverage over that period. And yeah, I believe that is the that gives us a leverage, good leverage and prudent leverage profile. Basically, I believe this answers your question.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you so much for answering that, Deep sir. Next question. So the next question is from Mr. Nikhil. He's asking how has the leadership transition to the next generation impacted strategy and execution?
Uh, I think Mr. Wasim will have a different answer for this one. But from my aspect, there's a lot more aggression now in the business. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, actually, not just whatever reason, my father has a lot of different businesses. And his focus was towards a little bit skewed towards the other businesses as well, as there were new business and fresh businesses. This business was set on autopilot, and it was giving growth, as a small amount of growth, but it was giving a growth. So my father didn't have to worry about it as much. Even though he's a hardcore manufacturer and he loves manufacturing, he still comes to the office here 4 times, 4 to 5 days a week. Um, as I joined the company, the amount of as I said, I was going through the shop floor. I understood each and every vertical and our processes. And looking at the fact that we're a 40-year-old company, we have we're supplying to over 17 different countries. We've sold over 150 million units worldwide. We have different verticals and different industries. We have customers that have been with us for 20, 25 years. We have a very strong backing. We have a very strong history and a core. And with the kind of expertise that we have, that we can manufacture critical components like the bombshells and the tank chains. um, there's a lot more push towards growth now, and that has been my goal as I got into the management, that we can do a lot more than we are doing. And that's why we're coming for the IPO as well. That we which is what's the best way and what is the fastest way to grow. And the IPO was one of the fastest ways for us to grow. That is why we're here, and in the future, hope we'll see a lot more growth.
Thank you for answering that, sir. Next question. So the next question is from Ms. Mahira Yadav. She's asking what role do certifications play in winning new contracts?
Is this question for defense? I'm not too clear on it, but uh, certifications do play a major role in winning new orders. As you see, the defense is a tender-based system. Sorry, defense is a tender-based industry. So what happens is there are two different types of tenders. There's the open tender, and then there is the limited tender. So in the open tender, anybody is able to apply, and they'll have to go through uh, physical verification of their capabilities, and that will matter. Plus, what matters is also the cost. So in open tenders, there's a lot of competition, a lot of technicality that needs to be cleared upon. So once you have completed the open tender, that is when you become a past vendor for the Indian defense, and you become an approved vendor for the Indian defense, which lets you then start bidding in the limited tenders. So that is where we are bidding now. That is our focus in the limited tenders, because in the limited tenders, there are only serious players. They're not players that want to get into the market but don't understand what the market usually requires, the kind of dedication, the kind of capex, and the working capital that is required for working with defense. You'll see a lot of good companies wanting to get into it, but not capable of handling the business itself. Not because of their fault; it's just they don't clearly know what is required, which drives down the pricing of products. Where you'll see people quoting lesser than our manufacturing cost. So it really doesn't make sense. So it was a hard time getting these certifications that we have gotten with the Indian Defense. And we move forward with it. But once you are an approved vendor, then there is then anybody that is there that's competing with you, they have the same certifications that you do, so they don't matter much in this. But as for other business, as for our global business, yes, then these IS certifications, and safety certifications, they do matter, because these might be required by the customer itself. So they will not work with you unless you have these certifications. But what they might do is they might give you a chance to acquire them if they like the plant, if they like your product, and they like the pricing you're supplying. So they'll give you 6 to 7 months to apply and get these certifications. So I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, thank you for answering that, sir. Next question. The next question is from Mr. Ram Oja. He's asking, what are the top three strategic priorities for Munish Forge over the next 5 years?
So one of our major priorities is going to be growth, and not just in our top line, but also in our bottom line. That is where we want to see the maximum amount of growth. The other priority is for us to reduce our working capital spendage. That is another factor that we're looking into. Unfortunately, working with the defense and with railways, it's gonna utilize a lot of working capital from us. That is one of the major reasons we're coming out with an IPO. So whatever can help us reduce that uh, for us is going to be a great boom. And thirdly, it's about our company and the employees that are in it. So we want to start, as I said, there's a push towards training our employees, not just for what they need to complete the current job at the best capabilities, but what they will need for the future. So, for example, if there's a junior executive or there's an executive that is, uh, you know, 3 years down the line looking to become a manager, so we want to start training that person today with the skills that they'll need to be a very good manager, and that is another one of our focus.
Thank you for answering that, sir. Next question. So the
Sai,
next
sorry
question
for
is
you.
from
Hello. Sai, I guess you
hello.
should take up new questions rather than taking up the redundant same questions, because we'll have to answer each and every question. So considering the time constraints, we should take upon new questions rather than taking up the same questions if they're repeating or redundant.
Sure, sir. Sure.
Yeah.
Sir, we have now a question from Mr. Jaideep Moria. He's asking, how do you see working capital requirements evolving as defense and railways grow?
So I answered this a bit earlier, so I'll just touch up upon it. We expect our working capital requirements to grow working with defense and railways. There are a lot of different checks that are required for Indian defense. It's a very critical product that we're making. So the DJQA will come and inspect our products at various stages. They'll take samples and send them to third-party labs for approval, and then they'll give us the go-ahead to keep on manufacturing. So with these kind of checks in place, there's a holding period, which the best way to or the fastest way to reduce it is by liquidity and just having more in the waiting pipeline. So So we're expecting our working capital requirement to grow as we do.
Thank you for answering that, sir. Next question. So the next question is from Ms. Mahira Yadav. She's asking, can you elaborate on your CNC machining, robotic welding, and Industry 4.0 adoption?
So CNC machining is it's basically you know automated machines that we use instead of lathes for machining. And robotic welding is basically welding done by a robot. We installed a robot a couple of years ago for this process for the Indian defense. The Industry 4.0 adoption is basically it's where the Indian not the Indian, it's where the industry itself is going, the manufacturing industry, where a lot of reports that were being made by hand or by people can now be taken directly from the machine. So all these metrics can be recorded from the machine itself. So now I don't need somebody standing there telling me that we made 80 pieces in an hour, where we can put a couple of sensors in the machine, connect them through the internet, and I can get that live report for each and individual machine. I can see exactly how much production is being done on each and every machine.
Is Devajun's video got stuck?
There has been some connection issues.
I guess there's some connection issue from his side. Let's wait for 2 minutes.
Hello. Sorry about that. My network issues. So yeah, I was just saying.
Yeah.
With those kind of metrics, at my fingertips from wherever. So even when I'm traveling, I'll be able to see exactly how much production and what efficiency my machines are giving me. It changes the way you're thinking about work and you're thinking about the metrics itself. So that is the Industry 4.0 adoption, and we're in the first stages of implementing this, and we're going to continue to implement it till 5.0 as well.
Thank you for answering that, sir. Next question. So the next question is from Mr. Bimal Gandhi. He's asking, of the rupees 30 crore allocated for working capital, what specific needs does it address?
See, it's mainly for defense business, and the specific needs is, see, if I have 100 tons of raw material waiting for inspection, and or you could say I've manufactured 100 tons of forgings, and now I'm waiting for inspections by the government, and I'm waiting for the third party labs results to come back to me. Now I cannot forge any more material because my raw material is not there. I don't have the capacity for it, the working capital for it, and the machining is not being done on this specific product because we're waiting for the go ahead from the Indian Defense. So this holding period, it is what is slowing down our growth in the defense sector. So machining I'm utilizing in a different, I'll be running my machines and my hammers on different products, where what I would like to do is, if I can make this 100 tons into 200 tons and then have the other 100 still be forging as I'm waiting for the 100 tons to be approved, that increases my throughput, and that increases and decreases my cycle time. So with this, we can increase our defense sales volumes, and thus increasing our high margin value, items, and increasing our bottom line.
Thank you for answering that, sir. Next question. So the next question is from Mr. Prem Singhania. Sir, he's saying India is the world's second largest forging producer. How do you see the competitive landscape shaping?
See, competition, it's going to grow. India is a growing country, and we wanted to keep on growing. So the competition is going to grow, but it's okay because with each and every new competitor, the strategy changes on how you want to tackle this. So with the, for example, how we chose our product mix. We have forgings, machinings, heat treatment, normalizing, welding, uh, zinc plating. So we have all these, and fabrications. We have all of these processes in our premises that not a lot of companies do, and we're already catering to different verticals, which again not a lot of companies do. So the kind of products that we can make in house is um, we can make vastly complex products in house, which again not a lot of companies will be able to do. So if they want to do this, they might have to outsource a lot of their manufacturing processes, which again, when you're outsourcing to somebody, they're going to take their profit margins as well. So it's going to increase the overall cost. So with this, we have better controls on our quality and we have lower costs from our competitors, which gives us an edge. So and we got this way by because of our competition. So yes, the Indian forging competition is going to grow, but it's good as well because you get to learn a lot from your competitors.
Thank you for answering that, sir. Next question. So the next question is from Mr. Ram Oja. He's asking, how do you plan to diversify risk given dependence on certain export geographies?
So with the export geographies, I mean, we're currently looking to grow our domestic business, so that's not going to be an issue. That's not going to be an issue, and we're already exporting to 17 different countries. So geographically, we're not looking to actively grow our business there. But but we are looking to grow our business with our current customers and our current products. So with this, it's not going to be much of an issue. And I'm guessing you're referring to the tariff situation that is going on with the US with this question. So we've been dealing with these customers for over 20 years. They understand the opportunity cost of procuring from somewhere else other than Munish with these kind of tariffs. So so they understand that it might cost them a lot more to shift to a different country and procure from there rather than from us. So currently they've agreed to absorb the cost. So we have no impact of the tariffs on our business. And 5 years down the line, I don't know, it could change. Maybe I'll put up a plant in US and it'll be more profitable for me. But currently it's not a major factor, and with the other geographies, we're already diverse enough where looking to expand into that will just be pulling our resources thin, and it doesn't seem like the right strategy for us.
Thank you for answering that, sir. Next question. So the next question is from Mr. Payal Moore. She's asking, EBITDA margins improved from 5.7% in FY23 to 13.9% in FY25. What efficiency measures drove this?
So, I mean, it's the same answer as what drove our, PAT to increase, and that is because of the change in product mix and the installations of the solar plant and the induction furnaces. So going down, it's basically the same question, so it's same answer for that. That it was,
Thank you for answering.
the
Yeah. So the next question is from Mr. Shankar Verma. He's asking, what role does technology upgradation play in driving productivity and reducing costs?
So, I mean, technology upgradation is going to play a huge role in it. For example, the oil-fired furnaces, they when you put it through, when you're trying to heat the material, they would burn away a lot of the material itself, shrinking the size of the product that you put in. Sorry. So, that's what we call our burning losses, where the material was literally burnt away. So so with oil fire furnaces, that is there. Plus, because of this, there's a lot of scaling and a lot of rejection that happens. So we need to have that into our raw material procurement. So we'll be increasing our raw material procurement by 2% because of our rejections and the burning losses. So with the induction furnace, that burning loss comes down a lot because you're electrically heating the product instead of putting in a furnace. Um, so because of this, the with the burning losses coming down, it immediately helps me procure less material, which again is a huge benefit for our cash flow and for our bottom line. So with these kind of new technologies coming out, they have a huge impact on reducing costs.
Thank you for answering that, sir. Next question. So the next question is from Miss Krisha Damani. She's asking, are there plans to move up the value chain into more complex assemblies rather than just components?
Uh, okay, good question. Yes and no. I mean, depending on the verticals. So for our export business, for our legacy business, we're looking to just grow with the current products that we are making, and we're making quite a lot. So I mean, for flanges itself, we're making over 1,000 different types of flanges. So growing more into that, and even with the scaffoldings, going more into different complexities, we might do it depending on the kind of margins we get, but that is not our active focus right now. With defense, yes, we are looking at certain products. I cannot talk about it currently, but yes, there are huge things coming up in our product line with the defense. Hopefully, they're coming. You know, short term rather than long term. Um, Sorry, in a short span of time rather than longer goal. But yes, in defense, we will be looking to increase our product line and our product mix into more complex products.
Thank you for answering that, sir. Next question. So the next question is from Mr. Ojas Badami. He's asking, what kind of repeat order visibility do you have from large customers like Indian Railways or defense contractors?
So we have, for our legacy businesses, we get repeat orders from our customers. We are dealing with the same customers for over 20 years. For Indian Railways, we're not currently supplying Indian Railways. That is coming in the future. Uh, for our defense contracts, yes, we've been supplying for the past 10 years, and we're seeing a flow of repeat orders from them. And we project that these are going to increase in the future, dependent, given how the Indian government itself is moving with defense, how they're the different governments, and how they're looking to export more of their defense items and products. So we're seeing, we're projecting to see a lot more of repeat orders and larger orders than what we have been seeing in the past.
Thank you for answering that, sir. Next question. So the next question is from Mr. Prem Singhania. He's asking, beyond defense and railways, are there adjacent sectors you're targeting?
Nothing currently. With this, we don't want to stretch our resources too thin, and take on too much on our plate. So we want to focus on certain avenues with certain high value products, and give it our all to grow in those, as that is the best way that will help us grow our bottom line and in a faster manner. But other than that, as I touched on earlier, we are looking to grow our current business with our current customers on the current products that we're making for our export business and domestically as well, in the agricultural department. So we're looking to grow all of that, but not into any other sectors as per se.
Thank you for answering that, sir. Next question. So Miss Patel says all the best for the IPO.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, Inaya Shetty says best wishes.
Thank you so much.
Harsha Joshi says, "Thank you for the great answers."
Thank you for the great questions. Sai, I
Say you
think
are
your
on
mic's
mute.
on mute. Sai, you were muted.
Yeah, so I was saying, I think we have covered most of the questions. So thank you, everyone, and all the best for the IPO, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for your time, and thank you for being here. And thank you.